Alright guys, here we go again. How you doing everyone? It's me, TheDomotaku. Welcome back to the anime for Winter 2020 first episode reviews, or first episode impressions, I gotta say. We only have 4 series today, and we haven't seen all the rest of the anime yet, so maybe there might be more videos of this. But today, we're talking about, I can't pronounce as long as how it's Madoka Magica side story, or Magia record, yeah, that's the one it's called. So, I would say spin-off to the Madoka series, but it takes place in the Madoka series. It's like a side story, yeah, basically Madoka Magia record side story. Y'all are talking about. So, Madoka Magica. It's been quite some time since I've seen something of this genre and of the series, because the last thing I remember from this series was the 3rd movie, which like blew my mind. And I have no clue where to place this in terms of like where that happens before or after the anime or the movie or whatever, but I'm pretty sure it's just like on the side, considering it's a side story, so it takes place concurrently with the Madoka Magica main anime and stuff. Although, isn't it that they go to the same city as them, which is weird, but I mean, okay, so it's whatever, yeah. And you see in the opening of the anime, you do see the main cast from the Madoka Magica anime, so I'm just like, oh shit, will they make an appearance in this series? If they do, that's all good. That's pretty awesome. So, of course, this anime is based off their mobile game, which I have not played at all, because I cannot afford to play more mobile games than I already do. I already quit, like, I wouldn't say quit, I already stopped playing Bang's Dream, Azure Lane I'm kind of off the fence of. I've been spending a lot of my time in Fate, and then there's also Crossing Void, and I sort of go on and off with that, but like, you know, in terms of trying to balance my schedule, I might have to drop one of those games, to be honest. So yeah, Magia Records game. If you played the game, let me know in the comments if it's super like exactly like how the game plays, or it has somewhere similar elements to the game. But overall, so Madoka Magica's anime, or the Magia side story thing, features our main protagonist, whose name I do not remember, unfortunately, who, of course, follows the story of all the other magical girls. If you talk to this white little evil demon god spawn thing, and, you know, you get a wish granted to you, you can get any wish granted to you if you become a magical girl and fight and slay witches and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, clearly it's a trap, but our main character, okay, I got her name, so her name is Tamaki, Tamaki. So our main character, who almost looks like freaking Madoka in a sense, because we're freaking pink hair and all. I mean, her look looks cool, I'll give it that. But yeah, her name is Tamaki, and essentially she became a magical girl for she became a magical girl for a certain reason, because she got her wish granted, but she can't remember it. And that's kind of interesting, because essentially, you know, the whole point of trying to be a magical girl is because you get one wish granted to you, per se, right? And in terms of the Madoka anime, those wishes were very, you know, broad in the spectrum of what it can grant, right? But in this case, our main character doesn't know her wish, hence it's like, why do you have to fight, or why do you want to fight? She doesn't know why she wants to fight, and she doesn't know why, you know, what her wish was, so that she would be forced to fight. So that's a really interesting dynamic there. But from the looks of it in the first episode, you know, apparently her wish was to, well, she has this sort of sister that she can't remember, and basically for some reason her existence has been erased from everywhere in reality and stuff. And I'm assuming her wish was based off for her, but for some reason something happened and now her existence is gone from ever. Like, she's just gone from the photos or whatever, and like her whole side of the room is like gone. So they have this big ass room where she sleeps on the left side, and then the right room is just super empty. Clearly someone was meant to be there, and that just gives off weird vibes. And, you know, the parents don't even know that, you know, she existed. They just think like, oh, we had one kid, and, you know, kind of weird. But yeah, so essentially that's probably why she's staying in the city, to become a magical girl, just so we can find out the truth about her sister. For now, that's at least the future plot that I'm assuming, you know, towards the end. But on a side note, we also have the freaking Kyubey return. Freaking Kyubey, always back. On the side story of that, we also have some kind of weird dream going on with all the magical girls, saying that if you go to Kamihara City, you will be saved. If magical girls go to, you know, the city, you'll be saved. And that's very vague, but like, in terms of what do they mean by being saved? Do they mean being saved from being a magic girl? Like you can like revert your power or whatever, you can like go back to normal or something like that. You don't have to fight witches anymore, which is what most people are assuming. So yeah, that's a lingering question there, but then I don't know if this has to do with the Madoka stuff or not. Because if it does, because after, you know, if you haven't seen the Madoka movies, the third one specifically, considering that's a sequel to the series, then I have no clue what the fuck's going on anymore in the series. But I mean, this is a side story, so let's just ignore that until some crazy shit happens. So yeah, so that's the thing. Essentially, they go to the city, right? This our main character Tomoka, right? Is it Tomoka? Oh my gosh, I keep forgetting, man. There's so many animes going on. Tamaki. So Tamaki and her friend go there, and essentially they run into a witch, and they have to get saved by this super more badass, stronger magical girl. And essentially their explanation is that there are more witches in Kamihara City compared to everywhere else for some reason. And I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but Kamihara City is the place that Madoka's anime takes place in, right? So it's very weird that they had to go there to be saved, but like, I don't know, guys. I'm pretty. If it's not, then let me know. But I could have sworn that Kamihara City is the place where Madoka's main anime takes place. So it's funny that they go there to be saved as a magical girl. But yeah, essentially the explanation is that there's a bunch of more witches there for some reason. So you get those grief seeds and stuff like that that come out of the monsters. And you know, if you haven't seen the original anime, you can use those things for certain things, right? So yeah, essentially they leave. But then afterwards, we learned that there was some kind of, well, we know what Tamaki's wish was. So Tamaki's wish towards her sister, whom I'm assuming was like being hospitalized or something like that. She wished for her disease to be cured so that she could be saved. Except we don't know what happened to her after that. You know, her disease probably got cured, but now all of a sudden she's like erased from existence. So she knows what her wish was to an extent. She leaves it off that with a dream. And then now, after episode 2, which we won't get to like a week from now, we'll see what happens. So, you know, that's the plot in the sense, but then like, you know, this anime so far is overall really good because if you watch the previous Madoka series, then it's all good. It's being done by Shaft once again, and you know, honestly, watching this anime, I got so much nostalgia and so much of a similar feel to like Madoka Magica's main anime. I don't know if it's because of the soundtrack, the character design, well, it's probably a bunch of those, but I mean, even, I don't know if they use the same soundtrack from the original anime, or even from the game. Let me know if it's the soundtrack from the game, because it sounds pretty badass, and it just gives me that, like, you know, I'm watching Madoka, or like, you know, it takes place in the Madoka-verse, and even like the whole, like, witch terrain and stuff, like when they're going to the other world to fight the witches, it looks batshit crazy and mind-blowing, and like all the visuals and the audio trippiness and stuff like that. I'm just like, oh, yep, this is Madoka for sure. So I don't want to include this as a potential spoiler, but yeah, you know, if you don't want to be like spoiled or anything, then don't watch this. But I mean, I'm assuming anyone here watching has watched Madoka Magica's anime, so if you don't know anything about the original anime, then I'll see you guys in the next video. But you know, if we look back in history from Madoka Magica's main anime, episode 4, or the 3-episode rule, or the 4-episode rule, I forget exactly which episode it was. So, you know, I'm just saying, if history repeats itself, then I'm just gonna assume something will happen within 4 episodes, or 3. That's just me though, so we'll see if something like that actually happens. But I from this one, so it's, well, actually, so compared to this one, to the original anime, there are 5 magical girls, I believe, or 4 or 5. And it actually looks like that this time they're working together compared to like the main anime where they're just like sort of trying to fight against each other and like, you know, do their own thing. But then in this one, they look like they're trying to work together for some reason, for some kind of grand scheme of things. Who knows? But yeah, 4-episode rule. Just letting it out there right now. Just expect something. Don't expect something. I don't know. Leave it with a grain of salt. But yeah, this so far, like, this anime has been great. It has, you know, it's done by the same studio. I have the same nostalgia and feeling as I watched the first Madoka anime, and like, it just has that, like, you know, when I'm watching it, I'm just like, oh yeah, I know it's Madoka. I know it's like the Madoka verse. Like, it's just like all the character designs are mostly into it. They just did a good job. honestly, this episode did a good job. If you like Madoka, then you'll probably like this. And unfortunately, I don't play the game, so if they make any game references, and I can't understand it. So tell me those in the comments below. Don't try to spoil things, but like, you know, as a game player, you guys probably might have more better connection to this than me because I've never played the game yet. Who knows if I'll play the game, but that's a different story for another time. So anyways, Madoka Magica side story, Magia record. Oh gosh, that title's so long. It's Magia record Madoka Magica side story. Gosh, that title. So far, episode 1, really great. I can't wait to see how the series turns out more and what Shaft will freaking do to our brains and our minds in the story and the crazy plot and stuff. So that's it for this one. I have one last one to do, one last video, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe for that because I am almost at 800. My goal for this year is to hit 1,000 subs. So if you subscribe, and you'll be notified when I upload the last anime impression video for Darwin's game, because that one had an hour-long special. Interesting. So anyway, guys, take care. Leave your thoughts about this anime episode, the first episode of Madoka side story, in the comments below, and see you guys later. Peace.